say I think it's a Birkin to like Louis V. Like Birkin, I think is the one that has the scratches on it, and that they're considered more valuable with the more scratches on it. It's either
Uh,
Birkin or Hermes, one of the two.
I don't
I
even think
forget.
Birkin would let me in the store.
Well, yeah, for sure.
I
Brokey.
I can't
Welcome
afford a
to Out
little.
the Trunk with Jordan and Darius. My name is Darius. That's D's I Love in the area on all socials.
And I'm Jordan. That's Jordan B. Writing on all socials.
This is our segment where we like to let you guys know what's going on, what's on our mind, what we saw on the internet, and I would just like to make a bold statement. We like to keep things honest here, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something bold here. In light of recent events, namely the Jay-Z Rolling Stone interview, or I think it was GQ interview,
Yeah, GQ, yeah.
and the LeBron James Memphis kerfuffle remarks, whatever.
Yeah.
Can we kind of admit that "shut up and dribble" was like right message, wrong messenger? Like I just feel like I feel like there was a kernel of truth in
That's
that, just a
crazy.
little bit. Like I just don't. I just feel like maybe she was the wrong person for the message.
Because it was, racism. But
Uh, it's like,
I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I think the two instances were a little different. I think LeBron was like just like making a flippant comment. It was a bit of elitism, but it was not done in malice. I
well,
think
okay, it was a
Jay
lot
was
of elitism.
yeah, okay, a lot of elitism. Yes, a lot.
Uh,
But it was not it wasn't it was he didn't shit on the people of Memphis. He didn't shit on the city. It was literally the facilities and one hotel. You know what I'm saying? He also and they turned to the whole anti-black thing. He also shit on Milwaukee's hotel. So it's not like,
I like to
but
point out
I
Milwaukee's a
hear.
pretty black city, though.
Oh shit.
It's,
I thought it was a whiter city.
someone pointed out that it's whiter than Memphis, but it's blacker than
Yeah, it's
Oakland.
whiter than Memphis. That's fair. That's
Um,
fair.
like Oakland's considered a
Um,
black city, and Milwaukee is actually blacker than Oakland.
got you. Okay.
But
Yeah, I think.
no, my point was like Ryan Clark said something like LeBron's not an activist. He was just talking about, like he's a multimillionaire traveling, and I'm like, well, he
Yeah.
tried to dip his toe in activism a little while ago.
Well, he does, and he does from time to time. I mean, he speaks up, when he feels compelled to. And I think that I feel like it was needed when he did do it, and I think that it was impactful in various respects. And I will say, I think there's some topics obviously I don't want to, I think he knows when he's out of his depth, which is why he doesn't speak on certain topics as well. Um, the Jay shit, I just find Jay's interviews to be like no value, to be honest. He just doesn't
they're
say anything.
nothing.
He doesn't say anything interesting ever.
No, no.
And that's no shot at him. I love his music, but I don't want to hear him talk about. He never goes into detail. He never talks about the process. He never talks about the steps he took. His whole, you know, aura is I'm a businessman. I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. But he never actually takes you through the steps of him building the business. You know,
No, I forget, he said something in an interview like I've never harmed anyone, which I mean you sold crack cocaine.
to your
Um,
mom, and you shot your brother,
like,
and you
also
damaged the black
like
community.
I find it hard to believe that you were selling drugs independent of other crimes. That's never happened before.
Right. Because you
You
got to
were,
do one to do the other.
yeah, it's kind of like an all criminal thing. But no, I was just like, I was telling my boy, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear anything other than his rap music. And he was like, it sounds like you're saying shut up and dribble. And I was like, I am.
I get you because Bomani said something
100% I
similar,
am.
and I get it. Some people should just stick to their lane. I mean, he's great at saying
Nothing.
nothing. He's excellent at word salad. But yeah, no,
He's
I get what you're saying.
he just doesn't have anything interesting to say
He
about
doesn't,
anything other
and
than his music and
correct.
his business ventures. But like people want to
Yeah.
know, like, what do you feel about the current state of politics, or what do you feel about
Hmm.
the halftime show? And I'm just like, I don't think he feels anything about it. I
I
don't
don't.
think he,
That's the thing. I don't think he does. Honestly,
he's an
I
apex
think
predator capitalist, and
correct.
he lived long enough to see that go out of style, basically.
Hmm.
And he kind of, I don't, I just let me know when
Yeah,
the album drops, bud. That's it.
I
Like,
agree. I think he excels at being fake deep and pseudo intellectualism. I also think he excels at I won't say performative activism, but he's got the whole Basquiat aesthetic and all that, and pretends like he's, raging against the machine, but he is the machine.
He's the biggest machine.
He's the biggest
Uh,
machine. He's a part of the biggest machine, meaning the NFL. Like, you know what I mean? Even like, I mean, to me, that whole pro black shit went out the window with him when he said in front of all them white people, "We moved past kneeling." Sir, that's not for you to say.
yeah, I don't feel there's much there. Um,
Agreed.
and every time he talks, people want him to be something that he's not, and
Yeah,
he's just a really good rapper and
and that's okay.
an opportunist, a capitalist, and I don't know. At one point, I wanted more out of it, but at some point, I mean, I'm pushing 40. There's just no there. I have to grow out of this.
Yes.
He's not my father, like
No, yeah, yeah,
it's just,
exactly. I think a
there's
lot of
nothing there.
that's also the problem too. I feel like a lot of black men really did like paternalize Jay-Z in a certain way, and I'm not, it's not obviously that's not his fault, and it's like the Malcolm X school. The entertainers should not be the ones that we force into these roles. Um, but due to circumstance and institutional oppression, things of that nature, they've been forced into those roles to a certain respect, and they should never have been. Um,
Listen, man, you can walk into an HBCU faculty lounge, throw a rock, and get a smarter take on any of this
yes,
shit than any
yes, yeah.
entertainer,
Oh,
man. Like,
for sure, 100%.
we
Yeah.
don't, there are black activists and policy wonks and educators and philosophers, and everyone can do their own thing. Like,
Agreed.
no one's
I would have
headed
rather
to
them
Seth MacFarlane
interviewed.
and being like, what do you think about the war in the Middle East?
Yeah, correct.
I don't know why
I'd
we have
rather
to do
hear
that for
Neil
black
deGrasse
people.
Tyson or Michael Eric Dyson or Ta-Nehisi Coates or Angela Rye or Mark Lamont Hill. Like, there's a lot of people, black intelligence intellectuals that we can, learn from and glean from.
I agree, man. All I was saying is the racist white lady on Fox News was just the wrong messenger. But you know,
Yes, and it was also on the wrong topic and the wrong cause. Like it was done with malicious intent. It wasn't even about you know the sake of the people. It was about silencing black voices.
like I said, wrong messenger.
Yeah.
But can we just get like a black person on MSNBC to say the same thing so we can all agree that it's
No, for
right?
sure. Yeah, agreed.
I,
I'd rather.
I'm cool with
Where's
my
Bakari Sellers
entertainers
at?
just
Where's Bakari
entertaining.
Sellers?
I'm cool with my entertainer just entertaining. That's fine.
Me
It's
too.
okay. I don't
I
need
kind of
anything
feel the same
else.
way when I see Van Lathan on like CNN. Because how did we get here?
Like Josie Duffy Rice, there's Van Newkirk, Clint Smith third. Like there's the long list.
Yeah.
The bench is deep. Like we don't have to do this. We can move on, man. I found a tweet. I wanted to a tweet prompt I wanted to throw at you, man.
Okay.
Well, you are everyone. What's your most elitist opinion?
I have a couple.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll say my first one is I try to avoid public restrooms at all costs if
Okay.
possible. I don't know if that's like snooty or not, but I just, as the people would say, it gives me the ick.
Okay.
I also think that I don't know where this there the hesitancy of private citizens that private citizens have with low income housing and or public transportation being near um, middle class subdivisions, I'll
Yeah.
say, is valid. I've
Okay.
seen what's happened to like neighborhoods nearby, and to some degree in my neighborhood with when they put certain bus stops and stuff like that. The people kind of see at night walking around and jogging around in shiesties. It's kind of crazy. Um, Briar
So you're a
Creek has
little
gotten a
NIMBY.
little. Yeah, Briar Creek's gotten a bit a bit dermy, if you will.
Um, okay. I really wasn't expecting that one. Here's what I'll say to all the progressives out there. There's no pathway to getting middle class and upper people to accept public transportation or density or building for density or things like that
Uh,
without public order. So like you're never going to get people with options to opt into these things
right,
if homeless people are like screaming at children on the bus. It's
right,
never
right.
going to
Yeah,
happen. I don't know what to tell you. So you can't be soft on crime and pro public
Public
transportation.
transportation.
It just doesn't work. Uh,
Yeah, I agree.
it
That's a good
just
one.
it just no one's going if you no one's going to get it. Like no one with options is ever going to ride the bus if it's chaos and disordered. It's just never going to
No, yeah, for
happen.
sure. Absolutely.
Um,
I remember I was in Chicago one summer and we took the L train and there was just this lady there like screaming to herself. And everybody was just like, yo, what the fuck's going on?
there was a viral video on a New York City subway of some guy just like screaming on a bus.
Mhm.
Something I don't know, just something just insane and offensive or whatever. And
Yeah.
some native New Yorker progressive was just like, "You'll never make me afraid of my city. Maybe he's hungry. Has anyone offered him a sandwich?" I'm like, you expect this middle-aged woman with like two children with her to be like, "Sir, I hear you're
Here,
having an
kids.
episode. Would you like a turkey sandwich?"
Here's a PB&J.
You know,
That's funny. That's a good one.
it's just there's no pathway to it.
No, I feel you.
I'm a bit more, I am a YIMBY. I believe in building for density. I think it lowers costs and all of that,
Mhm.
but there's no pathway to it without strict enforcement of the social norms and social
Correct.
codes. And like, no, um, it's never going to work if no one's going to agree to building that apartment complex next to their house if a bunch of dudes with shiesties are going to be outside shooting dice all day. Like,
Correct. Yes, that's exactly.
and I
Yeah.
don't care what you say, there's no good reason for grown men to just be hanging out outside on the stoop for hours on end in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week.
Right.
Like, why don't you have places to be?
Gyrating on this land.
It's just it's not a thing. It's like the Chris Rock joke. Like you could tell a neighborhood is good if it's women and children out walking around during the day, and a neighborhood's
Mhm.
terrible if it's young men walking out in the middle of
That's
the
actually that is true. That is true.
day. So I got a few.
Okay.
Uh, Tyler Perry movies are low IQ dribble, and I
No,
do
yes,
judge
yes,
you.
absolutely. And I will judge you, and I don't care.
I judge you if you earnestly watch them. Like if you watch them while winking and making fun of it,
Yes.
you're lining his pockets, but whatever. Listen, I'm not sitting up here watching Citizens Kane every night, you know.
Yeah.
But there are people who I know who just like watch them. It's like this is a
Mhm.
good movie. Oh, the new Tyler Perry drop. I gotta check it out. And it's not a joke. Like
Yeah.
you
And
know,
I am judging you.
oh, 100%.
That's a good one.
You know, this is controversial because this is gonna hit you a little
Okay.
bit.
All right.
Audiobooks are not the same as reading books. I'm sorry, it's not.
Okay. That's fair.
Like, it's not a direct substitute and it's still obtaining information, but
hmm
you didn't read the book if it's just the audiobook.
That's
Which is,
fair.
you listen to
I
it, which
mean,
is
no, I
that's
get it. Go ahead. Yeah.
no, that's it. It's like you listen to the book,
Yeah.
which is not the same
I
as
get it.
reading the
I hear
book.
you. It's not. It's a um, different intake of the information.
Yeah.
Now I will say it's still the same words. You're still, getting the message.
I think
But
the
I hear
brain
you.
works
I'm not
differently
like
when it
it
interacts with
does.
text.
It
I do.
does.
I think
There's more of an attention span required.
more of attention span, you're more focused. You
Yeah.
can't wash the dishes and read a book. And that's not to say that you're
Right.
not like I listen to podcasts while I wash dishes or whatever.
Right.
But how many times do you listen to 20 minutes of a podcast and go, I don't remember a thing that person just said?
Right.
Because I've
Yeah.
just
I feel
been
you.
moving around and stuff. So you
Yeah. I
got
hear
you got
you.
another one?
Yeah. Although ironically, I did do some research on the difference in terms of the information intake between audiobooks and uh reading,
Yeah.
and it is a minimal difference. I will say that it is funny you say that though. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so my one of my last ones, I think it might be my last one, is I don't think I'm okay with the concept of college not being for everyone,
Yeah.
and I don't think you have to be successful to go to college. But I do notice a difference between the people who have at least attended some form of post-secondary education versus people who have not. And it's not so much intelligence level at all. I just noticed that there's a they tend to be more open-minded. There tends to be a greater ability um, to converse, to take in new ideas, to disagree without being disagreeable. Um, and that's just something that you don't notice it until you notice it, if that makes sense. Like a lot of my friends have been to college, so you don't really pay attention to it. And then when you're around a lot of people who maybe haven't had the same opportunities per se, you do notice the gap there.
Yeah, I mean, class selects for itself very well. It's funny though because I find at least when it comes to politics, the people least
Yes.
likely to change their mind are actually college educated progressives.
Hmm.
That's just my general experience. Like I've found that those are the most obstinate people when it comes to like their political opinions.
Yeah,
But no, I mean there certainly is a difference. I don't think one is better than the other, but there is a
for
difference.
sure.
I'll never get on this wave of people, especially well-off people who went to college, telling people college isn't necessary, because I
Right.
promise you, they're sending their kids to college.
I was gonna say that. I was thinking about that the other day. I was listening to TikTok. It's like, don't listen to what rich people say.
Yeah,
Listen to what they say to their kids.
yeah.
And every rich
Uh,
person sends their kids to college.
Correct. They're not sending their kid down to be an electrician, and there's nothing wrong with it. But I'm always skeptical of people who never take their own advice.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like the 10 years on Twitter where every man is trash woman was happily married or in a relationship, and it's like
Hmm.
you don't live your raps, so I'm skeptical.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah,
Like I just don't.
yeah.
You're saying one thing and doing another, and previous behavior is far more predictive of your desires than like what you say. And
Right.
so, again, all the people pushing don't go to college are 100% sending their children to college. So I don't,
Yes.
I'm naturally skeptical of that.
Right. It's like how all the rap girls are like, I don't need a dude, fuck these niggas, da, 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 but they're all in relationships.
Yeah, yeah. So I got another one.
Okay.
And let me just say, there's no right or wrong to this one, but it is something that I've
Right.
noticed in my years of talking to people.
Okay.
Prince versus Michael Jackson lets me know who's a music nerd and someone and who just enjoys good music. Uh, it has
Interesting.
literally never failed me. It's like, and there's nothing wrong with enjoying good music. The
So,
vast
okay,
majority of
so
people just enjoy good music. But
right.
I have found that when you put those two together,
Mhm.
literally it's like the people who are music nerds almost to a man prefer Prince's music. And
Interesting.
I prefer Prince's music, and I don't even think I'm a music nerd at all.
Right.
But I have just found that that is a almost a one-to-one predictor over like music nerds versus the
That's
vast
funny.
majority of people who just like music. Um,
Yeah.
I don't. It's I guess that's my elitist opinion, even though I don't consider myself a music nerd.
That's hilarious. So my parents are both huge fans of both.
Yeah,
I think my dad's probably a bigger Michael Jackson fan than he's a Prince fan, but he's a big Prince fan. My mom's a big Prince fan, but she also loved Michael Jackson. So I didn't grow up in a house divided, so to speak.
yeah.
I think I don't know. I enjoy Prince's music. I haven't been through his whole discography. I mean, he had like 50 albums, so I mean, it'll take forever to do that. But he dropped an album like literally every year. Um, but I'm more familiar with Michael's music than Prince's, so I really have to go back and delve into it. But I'm not a stranger to his level of musicality. Any guitarist will tell you Prince is probably the greatest guitarist ever, or arguably the greatest guitarist of all time. I do prefer Michael's voice personally, just
Yeah.
sonically. But I love both, and I like I watched a video of Prince playing the guitar, and that shit like I've seen several videos from playing the guitar, and that shit was magical. You know what I mean? It's like otherworldly. I do think Michael Jackson's musicality is slept on because he could also compose. He also wrote a lot of his hits as well. So he wasn't nearly the quote unquote product people kind of try to make him out to be at times in comparison to Prince.
Yeah.
Um, and I will say, for the Michael Jackson fans, I did grow up playing music as a kid and stuff like playing instruments and things of that nature. So I am someone who's a music nerd a little bit. I'm not a music theorist, but I do love Michael Jackson and I did play musical instruments, so I do want to rep for my dog.
It's just again, Michael Jackson is not some obscure artist. Like
No, for sure, yeah.
it is an extreme minority opinion, but I just yeah, generally speaking, I find Michael Jackson's music to be bizarrely asexual.
That's
And
so interesting.
just like very neat. And I don't really like I don't go to I
That's
don't
probably more Quincy though.
Well, whoever the music I put in my, he worked with Quincy, right?
Yeah,
I like my music a little rough around the edges. I like my
I
music
feel you.
a bit raw. And Michael Jackson, every song just feels like there's a neat bow put on top at the end. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like
Interesting.
it's just
Even the
very
bad album?
it's
It's
just very
basically a
well
rock
crafted.
album.
There's like not a note out of place. There's not a guitar string that just feels a little off. It's very,
Okay.
very neat. It's well crafted.
Okay,
Uh,
got you. So you'd prefer like uh, say I think it's a Birkin to like Louis V. Like Birkin I think is the one that has the scratches on it and that they're considered more valuable with the more scratches on it. It's either
uh,
Birkin or Hermes, one of the two.
I don't
I
even
forget.
think Birkin would let me in the store.
Well, yeah, for sure.
I
Brokey.
I can afford a little Louis, but not the high
Bro.
end stuff. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know Birkin, like
yeah.
they don't even let a lot of like actual rich people in the store. So
No, I feel you. Yeah, I remember we got my mom a David Yurman bracelet for Christmas, and whoo, that took us a minute.
yeah, man. You got another one, or that was it?
So I had like public bathrooms, low income slash transportation, college. I mean, going off the cuff, if I have an appointment or like a reservation, I don't understand why I'm waiting even more than like 30 seconds. I do not understand that.
That does defeat the purpose of the
Yeah,
reservation.
like what fuck we doing?
Want me to really shake the table?
Sure, fuck it, we ball.
We might even cut this. Um, people who, how do I word this? Black people who only listen to black music.
Okay, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
Um,
Yeah.
listen, and the vast majority of music I listen to is rap and R&B. So it's not like I'm not out
Right.
here, strumming the guitar, howling at the moon. But it's just
Yeah.
a certain nigga that only listens to rap 24/7.
No, I get you. I hear you. I hear you.
I'm like, dude,
They're a little off. They tend to
th-
be a little off.
they simpletons, man. Like you ain't never like you don't like
I
nothing
don't
else.
disagree. No, I feel you. Yeah, or it's like I listen to literally everything. Like if you scroll through my phone, like I have scores from movie soundtracks. I have rock songs, pop songs. I have like Ella Fitzgerald on here. I have a bunch of shit on here, you know. And like growing up, like some of the black kids pick on me for like listening to like more than just rap music, and it's
Yeah.
like like it's all music. Also, somebody made it. I'm just listening to it. Like yeah, like I made the shit. And either way, like I never understood that whole oh you listen to that weird shit like you know what I mean?
Nah, man. Sometimes I turn to MTV. Some of that shit banged.
Yeah, that should do bang. And by the way, we invented rock and pop music. So
And listen, and where rap is headed now, I'm about to start sounding like Republican politicians in the 90s. Shut that nigga shit off. Dude, it's so
you ain't
bad
trying to
these
hear that
days.
Big Mama No Kids?
No, I'm good. I'm good, man. You want to move on to your first topic? It's aging.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was scrolling on Twitter the other day and I saw this tweet and it said, let me pull it up real quick. Um, okay, so it said people born in the years hyphen between 1990 and 2005, how's life? And someone said, group me with someone who was 15 in 2005 is crazy. And I liked the tweet. And then I was like, wait, hold the fuck up. I was 13 in 2005. I was like, wait, am I old?
You are, man.
Yeah. I was like, oh, wait, that's me. It's funny because we had Easter a couple days ago and we had family over and stuff. And my little cousins, a lot of them they're like between 18 and like 23, 24, 25, something like that. And they're like, yeah, a lot of people my age are like getting married. Some of them are having kids now and stuff. And then like I think sometimes when I see people that I know having kids and being married, I'm like, damn, they're moving fast as hell. And I'm like, wait, that's normal.
No, they're late. Yeah. For the vast majority of human history, people got married like 25. So,
Yeah.
yeah, man, that it's a blessing not to go to all, the alternative is dying young, which
Right.
getting old is a blessing, but no, man, it hits
Yeah.
you. I'll never forget. The level of deference I get from teenagers now is just like I get served sometimes.
Yeah.
I was in line at McDonald's at the mall to get a cup of coffee.
Mhm.
And this was years ago. Shit, this was like 3 or 4 years ago. And the teenagers in front of me were just being teenagers, like looking up and not knowing what was going on. They just turned around and said, "You can go ahead, sir." Like I needed a seat or something. Like they didn't want me standing
Yeah.
waiting on them. Or um how was it like my niece's friends like stopped cursing when I walked in the room one time.
Oh shit.
I was like, oh my God. That shit made me feel 97 years old.
Sorry, Mr. Thomas.
Basically, yeah, they was like, "Oh, sorry, sorry, Destiny." They didn't know my name. They said Destiny's uncle. I was like,
That's
"Oh
crazy.
man."
No, that's real. No, that's nuts. I remember like when I first started my first job when I was 16, I was, working at a grocery store like every other kid pretty much. And those adults come by and they'd be like, "Oh, is this your first job?" I remember my first job, da da da, whatever. And then a couple years like it started happening to me where like I would go to grocery stores and kids would be working and I'd be like thinking to myself, "Man, I remember this was my first job." And I remember to myself like not to tell them because then I was like, well, then I would sound really old. But they'll be like, "Hey, how you doing, sir? You have a good day."
Yeah, it's or just how young early 20-year-olds look, and it's just like
Yeah.
I don't. Everyone under 25 looks like an infant to me now.
Like, look, 16. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just like when did I look this young at that age? And it's like, yes, you did. You
And
looked
yes, you did.
or my other one, people are like 36 is to millennial 36 is so much younger than 36, however many years ago. And I'm like, have you asked any 20-year-olds how young you look? Have you asked any young people if
Young
you look
people,
young?
if you
Because
look young, yeah.
I think it's a bit of a now there is something to like indoor smoking is basically banned and cigarette smoke ages you. So there's something to
Yeah,
that.
we have aged better, I'd say.
Correct. And like, the technology has gotten better, but I promise you to college students, you do not you don't look you look old. Like I'm sorry,
No,
you
yeah,
just
yeah, for
do.
sure.
So yeah, man, again, it's a blessing. Things like bed frame matters. Like when I get a hotel, like I can tell when the bed sucks, and I just never would have mattered
Oh,
before.
yeah.
That whole like just crashing anywhere, that shit's clipped.
Yeah.
You know, but
Sit
again,
down too long, my back hurts.
yeah. Oh my goodness, I have to warm up for the gym now. I used to walk into a gym ice cold and just throw weight
Yeah.
around. Shit, if I did
Yeah.
that now, I'd be in the ER so
No, the
fast.
first thing I do when I hit the gym is I get water and I power walk to the stretching device and I just do the hang and twisting so I can decompress my spine.
Man, I mean, walk in ice cold, no warm up, no nothing, not
Yeah.
even a quick treadmill, and just start throwing weight around. Now, man, I spend, I do some mobility work basically all day, but like there's a solid like
Hmm.
10-minute get the joints loose before I get going.
Yeah. I spend a
So,
good 10 to 15 minutes stretching.
all right, moving into the next one. When ranking movies all time, does
Hmm.
rewatchability matter?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely. It's
okay,
got to be a movie that you have to like. To me, a great movie or classic movie is one you have to watch when you see it on TV, no matter how much time is left on the runtime. Um, if you know it like a song lyric, you know what I mean.
yeah.
That's kind of how I not how I judge movies, but that's how a lot of movies that I love or that are important to me. I rewatch like I have a designated amount of times a year I'm going to watch a certain movie or like a certain time of year I watch these movies, things of that nature. So yeah, I'm a big rewatcher. I don't always watch new shows in real time because just I don't always have the time. So I'll take a movie and split it up. I'm gonna watch these movies throughout this week, and I'm just gonna split it up like episodes, and I'll just do that. So yeah, I think rewatchability is very important. Although I will say the exception is if it's a movie that like hits you emotionally so much that it's like you kind of just can't ever do it again,
Yeah.
type shit. Like I like Fruitvale Station,
Yeah.
phenomenal movie. I will probably never watch that again. When they
My
see
Sister's
us,
Keeper is one
I'll
up there.
yeah, when they see us, my
Oh,
sister's keeper, with Antoine Fisher, never again.
Yeah, my sister's keeper had a thug down. I was in that theater like,
Yeah.
like it's hard to break me. That movie broke me, man.
No, I feel you.
I do
The
think there's
Zac Efron
degrees of
one?
rewatchability though, right?
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
there's like sit down. I'm gonna start it from the top. Rewatchable is different than Saturday afternoon hungover. It's on the TV rewatchable. Uh,
Yes.
and streaming kind of messes that up because you're not scrolling channels anymore, so you're not catching
Right.
Shawshank in the middle. The all
Correct. You
timer is
just
The Departed, where like you just be like watching TNT on a Saturday afternoon, and
yeah.
you see Jack Nicholas and his terrible performance in that movie,
Yeah.
and it'll get lost into that. But I
The
think
Town is like that for me.
yeah, it's another good one. Goodfellas is an all-timer.
Yeah, Goodfellas.
I like doesn't matter the scene, you just pick it up from there.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like I think can a classic movie be a one and done?
Mm, it can be, but
I got a good one when you finish this
it
thought.
shouldn't be. It can be, but it shouldn't be.
Is
Uh,
Oppenheimer a classic?
okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I'd say it's a classic. I
Have you
haven't
watched
watched
a
it
frame
since.
of it since you left the theater?
I did. I watched it. I
Okay.
watched it one more time after it came out, or after I saw it in theaters. Um, I will say like that's one of those movies where you it's made for the big screen, so
Yeah.
it's almost it does lose a percentage of its value watching it at home on your 60 inch, 50 inch, whatever you have TV.
I left that movie thinking Nolan did it again. He's a monster,
Yes.
masterpiece, and I just not felt compelled to watch another frame of it. But like that takes nothing away from the feeling I had
No,
when I
for
left
sure.
that theater.
I agree.
I haven't I have I was like it's like a classic album. Like people say all classics have to be no skips, and I don't believe that.
I don't believe
Um
that either.
the way differentiate them is masterpieces have no skips. Classics can have a
Okay.
few skips. It can't have a ton, but like
Yeah.
on a 15 track album, if you got two skips, I think you could still be a classic.
Yeah, that's fine.
Masterpieces have no skips. And
Right.
so I think a classic movie can have no rewatchability, but I wouldn't call it a masterpiece. And so
Okay.
like to me, Shawshank is a masterpiece. The Departed is a
Yeah.
masterpiece. Goodfellas is a masterpiece. Sinners is a masterpiece.
Hmm.
Um, just like things that I can just watch, like, like background noise almost.
Yeah.
And so it's tough though. It has to be a very specific reason why. Like my sister's
Yeah.
Keeper, which I don't think is a classic, but like I didn't rewatch that anymore because I don't really want to
It just
watch,
hurts. It hurts too much.
how much I don't really like to do recreational sadness and like there's nothing
Yeah.
sadder than kid cancer.
Hmm. Right.
It's
The Fault
like,
in Our Stars is like that too.
oh my God, that one, man. Oof. I read that book and it's even worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I opted into that, but man, yeah, I forgot about The Fault in My Stars. That one was nasty too. 12 Years a Slave, great movie. I'm not gonna watch that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, for you. Yeah, those the movies with just the devastating The Color Purple, I could go without seeing that again. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know it has a happy ending. I don't care. That
Yeah,
movie hurts. That hurts
yeah,
the whole way.
I'm cool off of that. So
Yeah.
the verdict is it matters, but it's not the be all end all. Can we agree on
Yeah,
that?
it's not the end all be all. Yeah, I agree.
All right, moving into pool season. What you got?
Um, so we only got like a month left of spring, which is the good part. Um, Problem is we got a month left till summer, so it's time for us to lock the fuck in, man. I got that email. We got the email the other day about the pool open up the first week of May. I was like, oh shit.
Um,
Um.
I live in my pool won't be open until at least Memorial Day, but
Oh
we getting
yeah.
there.
Okay. Yeah. And also like a little bit not environmental, but it's just crazy how much literally the world has changed because our pool doesn't close until the last week of September. And I'm like, so for the people who say global warming doesn't exist, there you go.
Um, you always see those
Pool's
tweets.
gonna
It's
be open for
like
6 months.
you see those tweets that are like, "This can't be the same heat our ancestors picked cotton in," and it's not. But that doesn't make picking cotton any less
It doesn't make
arduous
it
of a
any
task.
worse.
But it
Yeah,
is literally
yeah.
not.
Yeah, it doesn't make it any better at all.
Like, um, it's yeah. We usually open up about Memorial Day, but
Okay.
I'm turning around. I hit a corner. Like I bit the corner. and the shirt's starting to fit a little bit better. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, basically, I just quit like the snacking, like the adding the
Yeah.
Oreos to the grocery order has just been clipped, and the
Hmm.
soda has become lemon water. Though one little trick I do is
Yeah.
I just allow myself like one like some candy every day. And
Hmm.
so that keeps me from,
Sugar cravings.
sugar crate or just like crashing one day, Thursday after I weigh in, just like, okay, I've already cleared my weigh in. Let me go to the store and buy a bunch of junk. So,
Yeah.
a month you can do a lot of damage in a month though, man.
That's true.
And you'd be surprised even how much even like a 5 pound difference will make. So,
Yeah.
lock in, people. It's time.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in the pool with the shirt on all summer, so this is the
Yeah.
time.
I'm not trying to.
This is the
This is
time to
not
fix
gonna
it.
be. This is not gonna be a funny friend summer.
No one piece swimsuits, no t-shirts in the pool. All that shit is clipped. We out there naked. We doing it. Um, so speaking of social activities,
Yeah.
there was this tweet the other day, and I found it to be a bit silly, but it was
Mhm.
like. The lady posted a screenshot of I met some guy on a dating app and he said,
Mhm.
just so you know, I'm going hiking. They were planning to link that night. And
Gotcha.
he was like, just so you know, I'm going hiking this morning. So if you don't hear from me, I'm out of cell phone coverage, whatever, but see you
Mhm.
at 8. And people were
Yeah.
like, he was being too thirsty. He was like,
What the
why do you
fuck
need
is
to
wrong with
contact?
people?
If you already had plans at 8, why do you need to talk the day of the date? And I'm like, this is why y'all niggas is lonely.
This is why everybody is single and afraid, and this is why everybody's gonna die alone.
This is why the
Because what the
fertility
fuck are we
rate is
talking about?
collapsing because
Yes,
y'all.
yes, exactly. This is why.
If we have plans to link at 8 o'clock that night, and I
Yeah,
ain't heard from you all day, I'm just going to assume it's
I'm
off.
not going. I'm hitting up somebody else. What are we talking about?
I'm not gonna show up ice cold. I ain't heard from you in 24 hours, and
I'm not even getting dressed. What are we talking about?
like even if it's just I ain't listen. We ain't got we don't even know each other yet. It's first date. I get that.
Right.
We ain't got to text all damn day. You hit me at 1 o'clock, say, hey, we still on for 8. I'm like, yeah, bet I'll see you there. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. If you want to talk more, that's fine too. Don't get me wrong.
Correct. For sure.
I'm a prolific texter, but nothing, ice cold, radio silence the
Yeah.
whole
I
day.
don't. I don't understand. People are nuts. Like my friends are like my married friends, like, oh, what are you gonna be spend nice to settle down? This is why I can't settle down, guys. This is this is the reason. These people are insane.
Why is everybody so
They're
afraid of
either
liking somebody? I don't get it.
that's the problem. They're either super duper overly anxiously attached, or they're like incredibly avoidant, and there's no in between. It's crazy out here.
It is perfectly reasonable for a guy to be like, "Hey, if you reach out to me, I'm up in the mountains. Ain't no cell phone up there. Trying to get a little workout in, but we're still on for 8." See,
Yeah,
that is totally normal. That's not thirsty. That is
correct.
actively
That's so normal.
participating in dating.
That is healthy communication.
Right. We have
That's
got
the
to
problem.
stop this.
Because these are the same people who will be like, oh, if he wanted to, he would. It takes 10 seconds in the text saying, hey, I'm gonna be busy today. Like, I don't understand it. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. I remember I had somebody hit me up a couple months ago, it was like mid-February, early February, maybe like late January. And they were like, hey, I'm going to this thing in Charlotte. Um, if you want to go or whatever, it's February 14th. So I made a joke about it being Valentine's Day. So I was like, oh, you like trying to be booed up, whatever. And she was like, no, I went to that. I just like, I'm gonna go. So I just figured I'd just like let you know if you like wanted to go or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm good.
I don't know, man. You might have been a little sensitive on that one.
That's just weird though. Like I make a joke about Valentine's Day. You're like, oh, no, no, I just was gonna go. It's like, okay, well,
Um,
if you think I'm driving to Charlotte to spend time with you and you're giving no vibes, you're crazy.
yeah, I'm gonna need a little enthusiasm before I hop on the 3 hour
Yeah,
drive.
yeah. You think I'm gonna waste my Valentine's Day weekend on like? No, I'm not doing it. For someone
Um,
I'm not sure if they're interested. No, I'm good.
I would have given her. So she reaches out to you. What are you doing Valentine's Day? You
Yeah,
reach out in jest saying, what are you asking? And then she just
yeah,
says, no, but I wanted to know what you were doing. I'd have given her a couple more texts to see if like maybe maybe her response was nerves
yeah.
because she thought she came on too strong.
That's
Or,
possible. That's possible.
like I always tell people, dating is hard, dating is
It is.
complicated,
It is.
and you're, oh, it's not like a movie where you're nailing every text,
For
you're
sure.
not witty, like
Yeah.
everything is going to come out the way you want to, and give people a little grace, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe that was a little off-putting, but you give two or three more texts to see if she could,
That's true. That's true.
rally, come back from 3-1.
Yeah. Well, I know I hit up a couple of my homegirls about it and was like, hey, what's your opinion of verdict on this? They're like, yeah, that's weird. And
It is,
I was like, okay, I'm not crazy.
it's, I don't know. I'd have let that one slide a little bit. So,
I feel you. We need to
um,
bring back like letting people know it's okay to like them or to tell them that you like them back or like I don't know where we how we got here where everyone's just like playing poker. Like
yeah,
everyone's just
yeah,
bluffing
pretty much. That's a good way to put it.
everyone's just bluffing and keeping a straight face, keeping their cards close to the vest, and it's craziness out here, man. It's
Meanwhile,
okay to like people. It's okay to be liked.
and like my thing is like, so you've been doing this, like you said, playing this poker game for a decade, and you're lonely. Like you ain't gonna try nothing else. You
Yeah, like
gonna
at all.
keep doing the same thing over and over again, hoping that it works this time. I don't think that's a good
Yeah,
strategy.
I don't understand. I
Bold
will
move,
say, do you,
Cotton.
it's a bold strategy. Let's see how it works out for him. I will also add a question for you. Do you ever see people's posts on social media like so much about wanting to be treated right that you're like, will someone please take this girl to dinner so she'll shut the fuck up?
Oh yeah, to say the least. It's important to keep in mind that those posts are always for one person or an intended audience.
Well, that's true.
She is. There's so many times I scroll and I'm like, why don't you just text him?
Just text the nigga, tell him you miss him.
Why are you leaving us out the group chat? Like we.
Please take us out of the group chat.
Um,
I don't need to
yeah.
know this.
If he would, he could. I don't
Right.
understand. If you can't handle me I'm like, why I gotta handle you? What?
Yeah, what is it? If I'm too much, go find less.
Uh, no one who's ever worth a damn says that. Never. No one. No one who. I just. Like, why do I need to learn how to handle? Are you a pit bull? Like I don't.
No, for real. Handle with care.
Like I don't even know what that. Like what does that mean, man? So I want
Remember
to.
we were at the bar and that girl was like, told Jay like, "Oh, your friend's cute, but I don't know if he know how to handle me." Like, it's like, okay, I'm good, bro. Like, you got it, miss.
I don't
Grand
got
rising, grand rising to you, queen.
and my answer is always, you're right. I wouldn't know how to handle you, and that's good. So I'm glad that you know that. And I
Yes,
wish
I'm
you
not in the
involved.
business of correct. I'm not in the business of being a father yet, so
Yeah, I wish everybody involved the best, and I hope you find someone who is capable of handling you, whatever that entails. You ain't gotta tell me why, because I don't care. I'm
yeah,
not
I don't. It's not
applying
my
for the
business.
job. Not applying for the job. You go find you an applicant.
Yeah, not my clown, not my circus.
All right, man. You want to close it out with the tweet?
Yeah. To all men who survive rock bottom, what's one piece of advice you'd give a man who feels like giving up right now? So I'm gonna change the question to for all people because
Okay.
all people matter. Yeah. So I think one thing that I've been reflecting on that tweet the last few days, like whenever I was like going through like a really really tough time, I just didn't see a way out or a light at the end of the tunnel. I think honestly was one thing was as simple as like just taking it one day at a time,
Yeah.
like just not focusing on feeling like a failure, like not focusing on what other people are doing, what how great other people's lives appear to be on the surface, just like getting through this one day and getting out of bed and making it to where I do what I need to do to get through that day, where I can lay my head on that pillow at night and be ready for tomorrow. Like that to me was like sometimes that's just it's as simple as that, like just getting out of rock bottom, just surviving the day, like that in itself is an accomplishment at times.
That is true. I mean, kind of. I have the same sentiment. It's a little harsher.
Mhm.
It was like Bomani Jones had a tweet when someone more or less asked him something similar, and
Mhm.
it's like one of my favorite sayings. And he said, when it hurts, stopping feels no better than getting up. So get the fuck
Yep.
up.
No,
That's
that's real
it.
shit. That's real shit.
You're gonna feel like shit whether you stop or get up. So you might as well get up. Like
Correct. Like you get nothing from quitting. You get nothing
no,
from
you
giving
get
up.
absolutely
You're
nothing for quitting.
guaranteed to not fail. If you keep trying, you at least have the possibility.
Correct.
Um,
Um, specifically for men, nobody really likes men wallowing in self-misery. Nobody likes a
Nope.
whiny ass man. Nobody
Nope.
cares. So it's either you got to make shit shake or like you said, it's gonna hurt either way.
Yeah.
So it's
It's gonna
like
suck.
get up. It's like you going through a breakup. Accept that invitation out, even if you really, really don't feel like it. Even if you in the
Yeah.
club, we all been in the club after a breakup and just
Depressed.
it's just you're there, but you're not.
You're not.
But when you get home, you don't regret it. You feel better having gotten out.
Yeah.
And it's just like anything else. You got to flex those muscles. That's how they get stronger. And you know, the medicine is nasty sometimes, but it makes you feel better. It's true.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
Sometimes the shot hurts, but the
The vaccine's doing what it
vaccine
needs to
in the
do.
shot is a long-term investment in your health. And so
Yeah.
uh getting up hurts. It's a lot easier to lay down and not do anything. And you got to
Hmm.
put one foot forward, and that's the hard thing to do. But
Yeah.
the hard thing to do is what you need to do. And it's not you're
Right.
not going to need to do it any less if you don't do it. Like it's just
Yeah.
you get a day, don't get me wrong, you get a day to pout and couch rot, but the next day, time to get the
You
fuck
got to get
up.
up.
That's
Yeah, man.
really
Like
all
it's
there is
just,
to it.
yeah. And one thing I've kind of had to teach myself is like, it didn't all go to hell in one day. So
Yep.
you're not going to get to paradise in one day either. You know what I mean? Like it's going to take close to as long as it that fall was. It's going to take maybe as long, if not longer, to get back to where you were or to get to even an even better place. Um, and it's also, that those fairs are going to make the victory that much sweeter. And I know it
Yep.
sounds cliche, but it is the truth. Like I think about, like there are times where in my life I'm like, I'm not really satisfied. But there are times when I reflect, there are things I have now that I take for granted that I was praying for years and months ago. You know
The
what I
meek
mean?
say I used to pray for times like this.
Stuff like this.
It's important to keep track of the journey. We like I think we had when we talked about the was it the weight discussion a couple weeks ago, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, if you had told me I would have been at this weight, I'd have taken it. I used to pray to be at this weight. And so,
Right.
and also, like you said, like the small victories do matter.
Hmm.
That thing on your to-do list, if it's nothing, then just like scrubbing your bathtub. It's something you could say I did today.
Yep.
Get up, make some mop water, bust some suds, clean your floor. And if you can't
Yeah.
say you did anything, I mopped my floor today. And the next day, I'm gonna do something
Hmm.
else. And building up those wins because they do matter. It sounds
Yeah. Getting
small,
shit
but when
done
but when you're down,
matters.
that does matter.
Yeah.
You know, Folding that laundry that's been sitting there, or just doing a load of laundry and folding it right away just to say that you did it.
Hmm.
That's getting that ball rolling. It's getting that ball rolling downhill, and the next day you're gonna maybe try to do two things on that list, or
Yeah.
um, just like little things like that, just stuff. Organize your closet. You've been doing that. You ain't done that in a while. Let me go into my junk drawer and throw out all the sauce packets in there I ain't seen since Obama was in office, and clean that out and organize
Yeah.
that. Just I promise you, those little things they build, and it's a building block, and the
Yeah.
little things lead to big things. And yeah, don't you I say get the fuck up, but that doesn't mean you have to get the fuck up and then just go and run a marathon. Getting the fuck up
Yeah.
might just be cleaning your
Doing a
bathroom,
lap.
running a
Yep.
lap, scrubbing your walls down, detangling the wires in your computer desk. Like that
Hmm.
shit matters. Like it really,
Yes.
really does.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree.
anything else for that one?
Yeah, I think one like during the pandemic, one phrase I kind of mantra I kind of created and still use is nothing's real, nothing lasts, nothing matters. And it's kind of my version of Hakuna Matata, basically. Everything that like we thought of life before COVID would turn out to be like not really real. You know what I mean? Like they told us, oh, you can't work from home, these jobs too important, da, 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 whatever, and they sent everybody home. So nothing was real. Um, how many people got divorced and had breakups during the pandemic? Nothing less. Think about all the shit that we stressed about before that, or when and when things were good that we had the luxury to stress over stupid shit. And then when real shit happened, you're like, oh, I wish I had those problems. Nothing
Yeah.
matters, and so to speak. You know what I mean? It's just a way to teach myself. Like I had to teach myself to be even killed because I can get very high and get very low, and so I had to learn to like just be steady. And sometimes like when shit gets hard, sometimes doing nothing is the answer.
Yeah.
Meaning like don't ruin shit, don't fuck shit up, like don't break the thing. You know what I mean? Like so you're going through it with the girl, like maybe don't send that text. You know what I'm saying? Or
Don't even take
you're
the maybe, just don't send it.
yeah, don't send the text. You know what I
You
mean?
know, I when that arguing back and forth via text, I'm yet to see that produce anything
That is true.
of substance, like don't text her.
Yeah,
It's not gonna work. Don't do that. And I mean, I I can't say it never works, but it rarely works. So proceed
yeah.
with caution on that.